set 'em on fire. Welcome to my empire.
Yeah, how's everything going? I mean, you just got off a tour with Dabin, so what's it like
Yeah.
being home and,
Uh,
not being on the road anymore?
yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a weird adjustment initially because, well, adjusting into tour was weird enough. Those first 2 weeks are like,
Mhm.
wait, like I'm breaking every rule. Like
You're
I'm up
like,
till 3 a.m. But like what? And so the weird part was I tried to keep a consistent sleep schedule into tour. So I
uh-huh.
would like go to bed before Davin set and they called me out on it eventually. I fucked my sleep schedule. But yeah, it
You
was
were
like,
asleep during the headliner? Come
oh,
on.
oh, it's hilarious. Yeah, for the first few shows, because it was like, what do I do? Because I'm an early board, and I'm like the only producer DJ with like a normal sleep or normal sleep schedule. Yeah, so that was weird. But once you fucked your sleep schedule and your eating schedule and everything, getting back to like boring real life is like, you mean
Yeah.
you mean restaurants aren't open until 2 to 3 a.m.? Like,
Dude, and it's hard being on the road that much too. Like it would take me several weeks to adjust to flying like 2 or 3 times a week.
oh well, we were on a bus, so it wasn't that
Oh,
bad. But
okay.
yeah, that would suck. And I probably will have to endure that at some point. But I mean, it is what it is. I don't actually mind flights that much. I've gotten back into reading, as you can see.
Ooh, nice.
Finished a few books. I haven't read it.
What are you reading?
Right now, I'm reading this book, Cult of the Dead Cow, which is all about the OG hacking group, or hacktivism group that like got together, and they basically,
Cool.
yeah, it's really interesting how they shaped the history of cybersecurity and like how computers work and stuff. Because like one of my favorite moments of this book so far is like Microsoft releases a shitty update to Windows 95, and everyone in this Cult of the Dead Cow group is like, bro, like this is awful. Like anyone can hack any computer anywhere. So they
Mhm.
decided to put up an open source like file you can run, and you can hack anyone's computer anywhere if you have their IP. And like just to troll Microsoft, to be honest, they weren't doing it so they could steal money or
Mhm.
anything like that. It was kind of like a prank you could play on your friends. But it's like they were literally giving Microsoft like bugs on a silver platter and said, fix these please.
Yeah.
And Microsoft was like, no, there's nothing to worry about, y'all. And it's like, it's really funny.
Interesting. I'll have to check that out.
It's a good book. It's a good read. But yeah, I wasn't reading at all before tour. In fact, I hadn't finished a book since God, it's got to be like junior year of high school, because it was like, readings, whatever. But when there's like nothing to do on an airplane and there's no Wi-Fi or anything,
Mhm.
I mean, I guess I have a Nintendo Switch, but I feel like you feel a lot more
Yeah.
intellectual when you read. So I brought a book on the road, and then I got back into reading, and I've finished 3 books since beginning of tour. So
Wow, good for you.
Look at you.
That's a really healthy habit to
Yeah.
pick up, especially like in your early 20s too. I feel like those are the things that people who are old wish that they would have read more throughout their life.
yeah, for sure. No, I don't want that regret.
None of
Mhm.
us do.
But there you go.
Yeah.
Reading is cool.
So didn't you, because I remember when we briefly talked in Denver when you were out here for the Mission Ballroom show, didn't you start off school in computer science and now you went into music full time, or were you looking to start in computer science? I remember you had an interest around that.
So I thought I was doing computer science for the first few years of high school, because I was like, oh, my parents and everyone around me were all like, oh, he's on the computer all the time. Computer science is a field where you can make money. Combine the two. But I attempted
That it is.
I took like an AP advanced placement class for you non-US people. It's like this elevated class that you can take, and you can like skip certain classes in college if you pass or whatever. And I took the AP class for computer science. And I just, the coding, it became really tedious. It's just not for me. But I don't know. It just wasn't really for me. But I will say the teacher for that class like noticed that I was like struggling and losing interest in it and whatever. And he's been a consistent, really supportive person of my music project. So I did go to college for one semester, and I was actually learning about supposedly learning about music production and stuff, but it wasn't that helpful, and it was all just a bunch of Common Core stuff.
Mhm.
And I have some funny stories about balancing it circa EDC 2021. That's a funny one.
Did you just like teach yourself production?
I had a few mentors in the past through this program or this kind of little local music school called RMC Studios. And I'd taken drum lessons there for a while because I've been drumming since I was about 6.
Oh, sick.
And eventually I got enlisted in this songwriting program, which is pretty cool. And I got to show a lot of my art for other kids in the area about my age when I was like 10 or whatever. But eventually when I evolved it into a knack for production, they had a few mentors that were mostly focused on the production end of things. So I don't know.
Mhm.
It was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And we
Hell
had a
yeah.
few sessions there.
Yeah, and
but
now you're
mostly I'm
teaching
self-taught.
lessons.
I'm teaching lessons. Hit me
Mhm.
up, please.
Yes.
need money.
Everyone
money for
who's
this LA trip.
listening. Everyone go hit him up. Skybreak
Yeah.
EDM on Insta.
That's the one.
Speaking of Insta.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Oh, we know.
I'm sure everyone who's listening to this interview is probably wondering the same thing. Okay. I mean, you're reading a book about
I'm reading a
hackers.
book about hacking. Actually, it's really
And then
funny.
you got
Yeah.
hacked.
So
So,
yeah, actually, the reason I picked up this book was because I got hacked on Instagram. Our one of the people on our tour team got hacked, and it's one of those things where you live with someone for 3 months and you're close with them on like a spiritual level.
Mhm.
So it's like I tagged the whole tour team in a post the day that I posted the Between Broken tour mix, because Dabin tour, all
Yeah.
that stuff would be. But
Mhm.
I did a big tour mix where it was like I combined everything I played throughout the tour into an 1.5-hour set, and I put that on SoundCloud, and I did a really wholesome post, tagging everyone in the tour team, how much they meant to me and everything. And I tagged the certain person from the tour team, unknowing he was hacked in the post. And he responds, and it's a real human being behind this. This is the evil part.
Really?
So he responds, yeah. So he responds to the post and he's like, haha, nice one, man. And we have a conversation, and it's a bit awkward, but a lot of the people on Dabin's team are French Canadian. So English isn't their first language. French is. So I had assumed, whatever, the shaky grammar, it's just got to be that French Canadian in him. But it turned out that he was hacked. And so he says, can you do me a favor? I asked such specific questions too. It was like, hey, how's Richard? That was our bus driver and stuff. Because
What in the world?
he knew all of this?
No, he didn't. He pretended to know about this, and he's like, good, man, it was great. And I wasn't thinking anything sus. And he's like, oh, by the way, can you vote for me in this contest?
Oh,
And
crap.
without thinking, I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm like, whatever, homie, of course. And then they're like, all right, I'll have them text you the link. And I'm like, kind of, I'm blurring around. I'm ADHD crazed. So it's like, everything's kind of blurry. And I see, a new notification. I click it, and it's like, oh, this must be the link for, the thing. And no, actually, it's more evil than that. He said, screenshot the link to prove you got it.
Oh,
And what the link was it's an Instagram short link to get into someone's account. So it's
Mhm.
like, click here to access your account. And I wasn't even thinking about it, because I just had that
no.
that bro to bro trust with the guy, that I was like, oh, it's a contest. And I wasn't really reading what the number was from. I just kind of assumed like whatever. And then a few hours later, I've been kicked out of the account. I see that my recovery phone number has been changed to someone from Abuja, Nigeria, and the email to some weird Gmail burner account. And there's nothing I can do about it. They
Fuck.
set
And
up
then the
two-factor-
panic
Did
sets
you-
in.
Did you have the
No.
two-factor authentication enabled?
I have two-factor on my email. I have two-factor on my
Dude.
Facebook. I have two-factor on my PayPal, on my Twitter, everything except specifically Instagram, of course.
No.
Lesson learned.
So, Yeah, no, literally.
So for everyone
Instagram.
listening,
Yeah.
enable two-factor authentication, okay?
Right now.
Like
Like,
right now.
if I didn't have Joe tell me to do it that one day, because someone messaged me trying to hack me too, I like immediately did it.
Mhm.
You got to be on top of that.
Yeah, no, it's pretty sinister. And specifically these like voter hacks where they have the conversation with you, they're so sinister because there's a human element. Usually
Yeah.
when a bot DMs you, vote for me here, then it's like, you're not gonna trust it. But if it's your homie who you've lived with for 3 months and it just so happens that you have the right conversation at the right time,
Mhm.
or wrong in this case, then yeah,
Right.
shit hits the fan. But it gets wilder and wilder. This is a fun tale, actually.
Yeah,
So-
we wanted to hear this story. We knew there was
Yeah.
a story behind it.
Yeah, shit gets crazier here. So I'm gonna get out my phone. I think I still have this. But yeah, so I'm locked out of the account. He is DMing all my entire contacts list. I actually got blocked by one of your ambassador team or one of your street.
Dude, I unfollowed that immediately because I thought it was gonna like lock onto my account somehow.
Yeah,
I did get one
got
of the
blocked.
messages of you
I
being
feel-
like, hey, how are you? Or something like that. But I
Mhm.
didn't
Yeah.
answer.
No, it was so weird because he went through my followers list and DM'd a bunch of my fans,
Mhm.
like people that went to the shows or people that have supported my music, and then followed their friends. So it's following 16,000 people or some ridiculous number.
Mhm.
And it's like, yeah. So then they're DMing them all that, and then they put up a Bitcoin scam because what these scammers will do, trust
Yeah.
me, I know more about cybersecurity than I ever have in my life. What these scammers do is they try to hack bigger accounts or accounts with a lot of followers or accounts with a lot of following, and they try to hack those and take those over. But for the average Joes that don't know any better, they'll try to get them to fall for a Bitcoin scam where they'll have you DM their mentor.
Yes,
And-
I've seen that a lot. Yeah.
Exactly. And
And
what the
they'll post
mentors,
and they'll post about it, right? Like they'll
Yeah.
make a post and they'll disable comments.
Mm.
Mhm.
yeah, they'll disable comments and they'll be like, DM my mentor for more. And if you DM their mentor, the mentor will have a conversation with you. Well, mentor, it's the same fucking person.
Okay.
And they'll redirect you to a website. And it's not like a phishing link that'll hack or anything. It's an actual website where it's like, you send Bitcoin to this person and they'll invest it in the market for you, because a lot of dumb people think that
Mhm.
crypto
That service
works
is
like
free.
stocks. Well, it's not that the service is free. It's just like, because they'll say that they'll take like a royalty percent. But
Okay.
honestly, I don't recommend investing in crypto until there's environmental stuff in it. So I'm not going to get too deep into this. But if you ever wanted to invest in crypto, you buy the Bitcoin via Coinbase, and that's that. And then
Yeah.
you watch the price go up and down, right? And or you
Right.
trade it with usually sus online encounters. But this lies to people that it's like paying for a stock investor who will like invest the stuff into it. But what ends up happening is they end up just taking all your money. And since it's Bitcoin, it's untraceable.
Right.
So it's trying to redirect people to that.
Mm.
But yeah, so I actually got into the account twice using Instagram's video verification system. Which is like basically if you really have no other options, you can send a message to the email or phone that you use to create the account, and you have to do this really oddly specific like video selfie thing where it's like,
What?
yeah, so
I didn't know that was a service.
Yeah, you take out your phone, you look left and you look right, and you have to do it in such a specific way that the AI can tell that it's you. And of course, there's no actual parameters or prompts. So it takes like 7 attempts to get in. And then if you get in, then you get emailed a link to get in to your account.
From your
If you
old
don't-
email.
Yeah, to your old email.
Okay.
If you don't, back to square one.
So how do you access that feature? Like, did you have to email Instagram and be like, hey, I was hacked, help? Or is it an
No.
option somewhere?
So it's in the app. You have to basically, when you're on the login page, you have to hit forgot your password, forgot your email, don't have access to 2FA, and you have to go down all the things. And eventually there'll be a button where it's like get support, and it's like then you can do the video verification, because support doesn't exist for Instagram, as I
No,
found out.
clearly, because
Yeah,
someone
it doesn't.
created back when we did our Lost Lands giveaway, there was an account that created like a replica DUBSTEP FBI, and he was DMing everyone who followed us saying that they won our contest and to click a link.
Oh Jesus.
And we tried to like report him and file like a whatever, but we never heard back.
And it was crazy because he literally took all of our photos. Like he literally replicated that Instagram account exactly like ours. Like it had the exact same captions, the exact same hashtags, exact same photos in the exact same order that we had posted them. The bio, like everything looked exactly the same. And then eventually, like everyone was reporting this account, everyone, and Instagram was saying that, no, there's nothing suspicious about this account. So we're not gonna take them down. But eventually that account changed over to some random tourism company out in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was like 5 days later.
It was so weird.
Yeah, well, good to know that the Facebook and Meta have our backs, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Z.
Big Zuck.
Big Zucker.
I've been elaborating this story for a while, so I'll get into the juice. So I do this Instagram video verification system once, and then I get in, and the hacker instantly notices, and he just kicks me off. So I have to go through the whole thing again after 3 days of trying this. But by then, I'd kind of gotten down to a science exactly how to get the video. So second time I get in, and I speed run. I go change email, change two-factor, set that up, right? And I did everything. I thought that I did everything. I did phone number, email, two-factor, change the password, everything. And I'm like, huzzah, hooray. And I start DMing my friends like funny stuff, like pictures of me like zoomed in, just the usual dumb stuff that I would do. And then I get kicked out, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I freaked out, and I thought I was defeated. I sat in that bed for about 45 minutes, just sat there like, I'm going to lose the Instagram account I've been building for 5 years, and that's going to be really fun. But then Sharks, shout out Sharks, comes to the rescue, and he discovers that there's something called a backup code, which if you save it onto your phone, you can access the account or access the Instagram account no matter what. And every code lasts one time.
Okay.
So what you can do is you can refresh the codes, and that should lock the hacker out completely. So I have to go through the whole process again. I get back in. I hit that. I did everything again. I waited until 2 a.m. I stayed up all night waiting for the hacker to go offline for the night for an hour. Then I did it. Then I refreshed the backup codes, and then I was back in the account.
Dude, I'm going to hit you up if someone that I know gets hacked.
Dude, it was awful. But yes, a few days later, the account that was taken over from the person on the tour team, right, has the audacity to DM me again and say like, hey, bro, how's it going? Like to try to get me rehacked. And I play along with it a bit. And then I said, oh, by the way, just as a security measure, would you mind naming 3 venues we played on the tour? And I also sent him like 90,000 video calls, as you can see. But here's the weird part. I get to hear this person's voice for the first time.
He picked up?
No, he sent me a video message. I said, let's call, dude. Prove it. Name 3 venues we played. And he says, if you dare disturb, I'm going to block you, okay? If you dare call again, I'm going to hack your account again. I released the account for you now. Dude, he can't do it because it's all phishing. So I'm still fucking with him. But listen to this. This is sad.
Wow.
Wait, play that one more time.
He goes,
What?
he goes, I think he's saying, Skybreak, I'm going to kill you. It's so funny. No, you're not. You're in Abuja, Nigeria, and I'm in Cranford, New Jersey. You can't do that.
Dude. This is
It's
so
insane.
bizarre. I can't
It's
believe you got him to talk and admit that he hacked you.
Dude, it's crazy. It's insane.
I thought also if you message back these hackers, they could somehow take your IP address and like hack you that way. I guess that's not true.
So these are not smart hackers. These are not smart hackers. The only way that they actually got access to the account was because I was foolish, and I went on good faith that I was going to vote for who I thought was someone I lived in a small space with for 3 months and just cracked jokes with. If they didn't try to password breach me, they didn't try to log back into the account. They're too dumb. They're dumb, and they play on good faith. for the 0.001% of the time that pure coincidence lets them into an account.
Dude, when this first happened, I felt so bad because I knew that you just got off tour and that like going on tour, like that does a lot for your socials. Like you're always on it, you're building them up, and you probably just had all these new followers and then you dropped the mix. And like, I just felt so bad. I saw you on Twitter and I like didn't know what to do. I was like, I wish I can help him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the worst part as well, because it's like, it's not anything that anyone can necessarily help with except Instagram, but they're not going to do that besides yourself. So, you know, we have affirmation. One cool call to action that all my fans did. I've got a lot of my fans are like, you know, I'd say 30% are rave kids and the other 70% are internet dweebs like myself. So, they're all like DMing the account, like, I think some people literally sent a picture of their poop floating in a toilet and they're just like giving this hacker like an awful time. It's so funny.
Wow.
Like I've gone through some of the DMs. I actually got a DM from a girl who is like, yo, Skybreak, when you get back in the account, you know, you want to go on a date.
What?
So the hacker got me a date. That's pretty epic. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to go on it, but we'll see.
Oh, word.
Shout out to that girl.
I feel
if
like
she's listening.
I feel like that would be the weirdest way to score a date in the world. So I feel a bit guilty about it, but I don't know. I mean, date's a date.
I mean,
so.
she came to you, so
Yeah. But
And
we
if
know
it
the
and
climate
if it does end up
nowadays.
working out, that'd be an epic story to tell.
Mhm.
It would be awesome. Oh my god. That would be so funny. But
At your wedding, you're just telling everyone how it happened.
I can send a few invitations to Abuja, Nigeria for putting this together.
Holy cow. So how
Dude.
long did that process take?
What, the whole thing?
From like the day that you got hacked to the day that you finally, for like the second or third time, were actually in?
Well, it took a week, but a week of nonstop YouTube searches and cracking down and stuff. It did get me really invested in cybersecurity. I mean, that's why I picked up this book.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a week, but it's a strenuous 24/7 week, not like a week. It's
Right.
Like
A lot of people would just give up too. Like if that happened to me, I feel like I would just be so discouraged. I would convince myself that I had to start over.
I gotta shout out my manager for a sec, because I actually did give up after a bit. I was like, fuck this, you know, we can rebuild the account in a year or two. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just like, bro, you just got off a tour. You gained 3,500 followers.
Yeah.
You cannot like do this. Shout out Landon.
Shout out Landon. Love him.
Landon's always on top of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And thank God he did, because when I got back in, it took all of my willpower not to go instantly DM the account that hacked me. Like, suck on, bitch.
I would have too. That's funny. Well, changing topics here.
Yeah,
Outside
that
of-
was a long one.
Yeah,
Outside of
good
Instagram.
story though.
Yeah, that was pretty funny though, and it's some good tips right there.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I
Get
mean,
hacked and get dates. I mean, it took 19 years.
Oh my God. We honestly could just take your answer to that one Instagram question and post it on YouTube, like how to get back into a hacked Instagram account. I'm sure it would blow up.
Yeah, you would. You get all those bots that like
Yeah. And then they're going to be trying to hack us. No.
literally.
right? No, yeah, I enabled that two-factor authentication like right then and there, because there was like one period of like it was like one week where I saw like 10 of my Instagram friends get hacked within a
Mhm.
week. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Why is everyone getting hacked right now? And why am I getting all of these random DMs of like, hey, how are you doing? Or hey, you want to vote for me? Like I did get a couple of those messages from random people, even from like producers on Facebook Messenger. And
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like,
Right.
vote for you like for a DJ contest, but I just
Yeah.
left them on red.
Yeah.
So maybe it was real. Maybe it was
Who knows? Maybe
fake. Who knows?
maybe you're a fake friend. No, I'm kidding.
You didn't vote for our friends?
Yeah. Kidding?
Don't leave me
Wait.
on red.
Wait, I have friends? No, I'm just
No.
Who knows? Yeah.
But other than that though, so like you just announced a back-to-back with Asora in
Oh,
San
yeah.
Francisco.
Ooh.
Like that's gonna
It's
be
gonna be
sick.
fun. It's gonna be super fun. Yeah, I mean, I've never done a back-to-back before. So it's
Really?
gonna be interesting.
What?
Well, that's a lie. We did the crazy stupid one at Avalon a few months ago after the LA show that we played on the tour. but that wasn't really organized. That was just kind of us all plugging in our USBs and playing dumb stuff. Feel like this begs to be a bit more structured than that.
More or less, though. I mean, we saw the
Yeah.
photos you guys posted. Those were cute.
Oh, it was fun. It was good fun, but it was also 4 a.m. and I feel like that crowd would have danced to Jellyfish Jam from the
Yeah.
SpongeBob soundtrack. So
That crowd was bugging out probably.
they were probably tweaking a bit, but it was fun. It was a really good fun night.
Yeah, that's actually a really fat lineup. They have Heritage back-to-back Swarm, Ace Aura back-to-back Skybreak, Vampa back-to-back Sippy, Lucy, and then
Yeah.
BTSM. Like, that's stacked.
I'm happy that I'm finally playing an event where nearly, I can't tell if it's half or slightly over half, the lineup is female. Like that's
Mhm.
so rare in this scene, and that's like good
That's
to see. And I'm
true.
glad that Black Tiger is kind of elevating that a bit.
Yeah, that's super cool. I feel like there's been a lot more women like coming to the front lately too. Like Movie, she's been making waves in the scene. You
Mhm.
know, it's just super cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are super talented, and I think they deserve more room in the scene. So
Mhm.
happy to see it happening a bit.
Hell yeah.
More power to them.
Power to them.
Yes, we're all about supporting women. And also,
do
of
be.
course, up and coming artists.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, one more question for you before we move into the submitted round.
Yeah.
Congrats on the new song coming out on Rushdown. Can you tell us anything about it?
Yeah. It's actually premiered as of recording this. Well, I guess this is going to be out in a bit, so it will have been out by now.
Mhm.
But yeah, since it's Rushdown's 100th release, Harvey asked us all to make VIPs or sequels, which is essentially to all you non-producers, like, a remix of a song you've already released. So we all did that, and this is a sequel to my 2019 solo Rushdown debut, Angels and Demons, which was kind of one of my first tracks that I wrote that I was like ridiculously proud of. Like I was
Mhm.
like, okay, this is my style, and this is like something that hasn't been done before. Because before then, I was just kind of making like melodic chord stack Monster Cat music, which I like, and I still have a few tunes like that. One coming soon. But
Oh, hint, hint.
All right.
hint, wink, wink.
You heard it
But-
here first on the FBI podcast.
Heard it here first. But yeah, it was like a lot of it was just kind of samey, but Angels and Demons was a good track, and I wrote it before anything really blew up for me. So it was an honor to go back and kind of like tweak it. And the message and the moral, I guess, of the first one was like it's a dichotomy of like good and cutesy, and then it gets really kind of dark and evil at the end.
Mhm.
So I kind of opted this time to go from like kind of sad boy emotional, and then it goes into this kind of happier, sentimental, warm house jam at the end. So it's kind of like
Mhm.
good, evil, and then it's like sad, happy. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
dichotomy in an opposite direction. So I had a lot of fun writing it, and it was when I was writing it, I was reflecting a lot, because it's like, damn, Jesus, like tell 16-year-old me that I'm gonna go on tour with Dabin and get on Disciple and do all this
Mhm.
stuff. Like he wouldn't have believed you. He was just shitting music out into FL. But yeah,
Yeah.
like here we are, and
Mhm.
the mindset's shifted so much, and there's a lot more eyes on my project, and awesome fans and beautiful fans, and it's like,
Yeah.
damn, this is awesome. So
Wow. You're living the dream of a lot of older producers too. Like I know producers who are like 35 wishing that they were doing everything you were.
yeah, thank you, I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just blessed and honored for everyone who supported my project, and the opportunities I've gotten, and I feel like I wanted to put that kind of euphoria and that thank you-ness and great gratitude into a form of a song. So hopefully that translates. But
I love it. Full circle
what
moment.
it was for. Yeah.
Mhm.
Full circle.
Love that for you.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's go into our submitted questions here. So first submitted question we have here. I'm totally going to butcher this. Navinor.music.
Mhm.
He asked you, are you being held against your will?
Why would you think that? I mean, I just want to do this for my friends at DUBSTEP FBI. Like,
Shh. Put that down.
Wait,
put what down?
Cut his camera
Next
off.
question.
Next question is from Blood Pact. Do you in fact break Sky?
Depends on your definition. I guess so. My name would entail that.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
We'll take it.
Never forget though. I had to bring this up. You're probably gonna hate me for it. I don't know. I just thought of this at Mission Ballroom. Your last drop.
What happened to? Oh, jeez. Oh, Jesus. That's so dead. No, that's embarrassing. Yeah. At the end of the very last show of the Dabin tour, the Dabin tour. The Dabin tour. I did have a nice tour of Denver after, but
Yeah.
not being paid to do that. But it was like, yeah. Last drop of the last show of the Dabin tour, I was about to pop off so hard. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and my fucking elbow hits the memory cue skip to the end of the song. And so I blue balled. How big? Probably about 2,500 people. Blue balled them all.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
That was really funny.
But you recovered.
You
I recovered. I watched back the video and it's not as cringe as I thought it was gonna be. It was kind of just funny. But
It was pretty funny.
yeah, that's one good thing about playing so many shows. You learn a sense of humility because it's like
Mhm.
I feel fear failure in the regard that it's like, well, if this song that I've released and everyone hates it, then it's like, well, shit, that sucks. But in terms of like being goofy in front of a crowd, like whatever, people eat that shit right up. It's all about how you react to it. No show is perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
People love it when you can like be a little hard on yourself or kind of like make fun of yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
It just makes you more relatable. I feel like that's why like Crankdat is really popular, like Asora. They're all kind of like meme towards themselves.
No,
Well,
they're goofy dudes.
Mhm.
Another artist I just thought of too was Flume, because when he played, I don't know which weekend it was at Coachella, but I was home working. It was like a late Friday or Saturday night. I was just streaming the Coachella live stream. Hashtag Nochella.
No cello.
And Flume went on. He completely fucked up the opening. Like
Oh,
it was
yeah?
a long ass intro and it was really cool, the build up and everything. And then right when it was supposed to be the first drop, like his actual opening, I think the same thing happened as it happened with you.
Oh.
And literally all the lights went out, visuals went out, everything. And he was like, I fucked up. Let's start again.
That's a big one to fuck up.
It's literally on Coachella, like
Fucking
Flume, the
Coachella.
legend. You have to look it up.
Oh my
it's pretty
God.
funny.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I remember
But-
just like working and I was like, wait, what the fuck just happened?
What the fuck?
I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
bring up when he got caught eating ass and then like played.
Yeah,
it
that's
off
what I
as a
thought. I was
joke.
like,
No, yeah, that too.
That too. Flume and Coachella
Yeah.
have a complicated history.
yeah, I don't know if I've gotten that far. I don't know. I think that fucking up to an extent almost makes performances more memorable. Like,
Mhm.
I just saw Jacob Collier last week as of recording this on May 4th at Terminal 5 in New York. And it was a really great show. And he puts like tons of goofy little gaps in his show. Like, for example, his song Time Alone with You with Daniel Caesar, he plays that. And it's this nice like swung pocket groove. And so there's a moment right in the intro where it like cuts to silence and then he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then like comes back in. It's super cool. But he decided to make the pause like 2 minutes long. And it's
Oh,
like,
wow.
I remember that. I guess that's more intentional than a fuck up, but it's like, I don't know, it's just a goofy thing. We're just playing with the
Yeah.
crowd.
You got to have a sense of humor sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes people forget that there's a team of like 10 or 15 or 20 production people working behind the scenes and like stage managers and security and like hospitality. And they just kind of think that it's like the DJ goes up there and like plugs
And
it
presses
in.
play, and that's it.
And like
nah,
everything
dude.
syncs up perfectly. I don't think a lot of people realize that there's like VJs sitting behind the booth, like making sure everything's synced and stuff.
I mean, there's a lot going into it. And I guess they are right in the regard that what the DJ is doing is like such a small part of everything. I mean,
Mhm.
I guess we're the ones selling the tickets, or we have the name value that brings a crowd, or the vision or whatever. But I mean, if it was just me on CDJs in front of a black curtain, like I doubt it would have the same impact. Maybe, I
Right.
mean, maybe it would. I haven't tried. But,
Yeah. Let's find out.
Hopefully
My
I have a
house
hybrid
next
kit.
month.
well, let's go. Pay me like $20.
Yeah. We're gonna pay you 1/10 of your rate.
1/10.
Just kidding.
Sounds good.
I would
20
pay
bucks is
you-
a little cheaper than that.
Yeah. I would pay you your full rate.
Oh, thanks. Just to play in a house.
Mm-hmm. With a black curtain.
Call that house
Yeah.
music.
And a
House
couch-sized
music?
stage.
We got the
Couch-sized
main
stage.
stage right here.
Yeah.
All right.
Coachella.
Well, we should move into the
Coachella.
lightning round here. Oh yeah, Coachella. Couchella.
Coachella.
Coachella.
Well, I was gonna say we should move into the lightning round here. Just got a few questions for you, and then also
Yeah.
got one of our signature questions that I'm sure
Mhm.
you're so excited about, and I'm sure you're expecting.
I feel like I know what to expect.
So I'll kick it off here. So we know you're young here. So just for the record, so you can tell everyone, how old are you?
I'm 19, 20 in September.
Hey,
Wow.
cool.
You've done so much at such a young age. That's really
Thank
awesome.
you.
Mhm.
Pandemic was weird. Because I was in high school when the pandemic started. So my senior year is the one that got fully fucked. So
Yeah, my brother in
that was
college too with that.
yeah, it was fun. I mean, I didn't really care. You know, high school was kind of like day job, and then I was always making
Yeah.
music. But because I had so much time in the pandemic, I guess then I didn't have to work a job or anything. It was just kind of
Mhm.
all day music. I was working 16, 17 hours in the DAW. So I progressed way
Mhm.
faster in from 2020 to 2022 than I did for the 6 years prior. So
Yeah. Well, speaking of the,
quit your fucking job and make music all day. That'll do good for you.
you were probably like, get me the hell out of high school too.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't want to get into that.
Yeah,
High school
no.
sucks.
High school sucks.
It does.
Speaking of the DAW, Ableton or FL Studio for you?
FL, but I'm learning Ableton. One of my New Year's
Oh.
resolutions, which I've been a bit too busy to accomplish, is I want to write a whole song in Ableton.
Wow.
But I've been in FL the past 8 years. Jesus.
Okay.
Been out for a bit.
Is switching over pretty hard?
Yeah. I feel like what's good about FL is you set up your own routing systems and your own organization and all that stuff. Whereas with Ableton, it's very rigid and it's like this is like the way you do it.
Mhm.
Which is probably good because it keeps me organized. And if you've seen my projects, they're they look great.
They're creative.
But
Mhm.
yeah.
All right. Next one here. Fuck, marry,
Here
kill,
we go.
Asora, Chime, Dabin.
Davin, interesting. I thought the one was gonna be sharks. I was like, really killed. Okay.
I mean, you just toured with him, so had to include him
all right,
somehow.
Shit. This is hard. Dang. Oh, that's hard.
You don't want to offend anyone.
I don't want to offend anyone.
Disclaimer, this is not meant to be an offensive question. We are just simply trying to
Cool.
put him on the
Yeah,
spot.
it's working.
Don't worry, we're not. At least we're not hacking you. We're just putting.
Let's
you on
go
the
with,
spot.
I guess, let's say kill Ace Aura. Unfortunately, I love you to death, Eric, and I know we're doing the back to back next month.
Eric.
But
Uh-oh.
Ooh, his wife is not going to be happy about that.
shit. All right, now you're making me second guess.
I'm just kidding.
He's trying
No.
to kill him so he doesn't have to go back to back with him.
That's true. That's what I said. My motivation to be. So yeah, kill Eric. I love you, but kill Eric so I can do the back to back alone and claim I played Bill Graham myself. And then Landon can put all his focus on me.
Yes.
And then I guess let's say fuck Chime, because he said the same. So
And he has a nice accent.
he has a nice accent. We're both British, so
Mhm.
it works. And then marry Dabin because we live together long enough. Yeah, that's hard. I wouldn't want to kill any of them. And for the record, I wouldn't want to fuck any of them either. No offense.
Okay.
No offense.
Like that had to be
I
clarified.
feel like that would kill business relationships.
Yeah.
Marrying, we can see about that.
Yeah. But two of them are already taken, right? Chime and Eric.
Chime and Eric. Yes.
Well, isn't Dabin taken too?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got a girlfriend, Yao. That's such a weird question though. I was hoping one of the answers could be sharks because I was ready to dunk on him all day. I hate that man.
Poor little sharks.
Or sharks. Actually, it's funny. That video came out the first day where it was Chime saying "fuck Skybreak"
Mhm.
and stuff. That came out the first day of tour.
Oh my God. Great
Here
way
we
to
are.
start. Full circle again.
Full circle again.
Mhm.
Sick.
Yeah, that was a fun episode to record.
Yeah.
It was fun.
We have 5 more questions for you. The next one is,
right.
what was your favorite city on the tour?
Ooh, I have a few. I really, in terms of visiting, Nashville, DC both really resonated with me. Nashville for just the pure Southern hospitality, because I had like such a culture shock. Because I come from the Northeast, where everyone's just kind of, in a bit of a bubble. People are kind of, you don't say hi to anyone on the street. Like whatever, people are rough and tough.
Yeah.
But in Nashville, everyone is so ridiculously nice. It's kind of scary.
Mhm.
And there's just music floating everywhere. And then DC, it's weird. It just has like a magical feeling to it, despite being the center of a lot of corruption and government. But the
Mhm.
actual city's really cool. In terms of shows, DC was sick. Denver was really cool. Denver is also a city I love as well. I'd
Mhm.
like to live there. That'd be fun. Santa Cruz was a cool show in San Francisco, and a lot of the smaller shows we played, like Kansas City, was fun. I don't know, a lot of them were fun. I
Mhm.
could find good things to say about all of them.
That's awesome.
How many cities in total did you go to?
I think 35.
Wow. Over what, a month or 2?
2 months, yeah.
Okay.
It was fun.
That's so cool though.
Good time. Yeah, it was like a lot of fun.
Mhm. All right, next one here. How many IDs are you sitting on?
Oh shit. Finished or unfinished?
It could be whips,
Whips.
IDs,
So I have
finished,
11.
anything.
I'm pretty proud of myself. I have 11 finished tracks right now,
Oh, wow.
unreleased, which is way more than 5 months ago. But in terms of like whips, probably closer to about 30. I don't know. But I mean, it depends what you classify as a whip. Whip that's playable in a DJ set, like 5. Whips
Yeah.
that are in my FL Studio folder said, work on this eventually, probably about 400.
Are you
Better
the
than
type
nothing.
to like start a track and then you just like have a different idea and you start a new one and then
Yep.
another idea and you start another one and then you just like forget about the other ones because you just want to work on your other ones?
Yes, but I feel less bad about it now because I've adopted a workflow where I kind of use elements out of all my scrapped and unscrapped tracks and I can just drag them into a new song. So technically every Skybreak song you hear is a culmination of all the other ones,
Mhm.
plus a few new things. Like, for example, in one of my unreleased tracks, I took a fucking drum beat that I wrote for like this weird underwater, I called it underwater jungle pop. And it's this weird, like, it's got like a cumbia drum beat. And I sped it up a bunch and used it as like a dubstep loop. And it's like, I don't know, it
Okay.
worked.
That's sick.
Hell yeah.
But yeah. But
Cool.
production is fluid, especially when you record and stem things out.
Mhm.
Nice.
What is your dream label to release on?
Ooh, I've already gotten on a bunch of them, frankly. Disciple was the
Mhm.
big one, Never Say Die. I've loved working with Heaven Sent. I think the next 2 goals, I'd love to get on Monster Cat eventually. That would be sick.
Mhm.
And I've been vibing to a bunch of stuff on Bitbird, so
Oh,
hopefully
wow.
I can do some stuff there. That would be cool. But
Cool.
yeah, I don't know. I don't really think in terms of labels anymore.
Mhm. That's a
Um,
good thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now
I
it's
just want to write dope music and see what comes of it.
Mhm.
Yep. That's why you have someone that's why you have a great team like Landon. You
Yeah.
make music, you do what you're good at, and then you
Yeah.
have a team behind you to pitch you out, get you festival bookings, get you label releases, all of that.
I love my relationship with my team. I'm the socially awkward kid that sits at the computer and does the thing. And my manager is the one that goes to labels and says, hey, take this kid's music.
Yeah.
So I don't
Every-
have to.
Everyone has a role to play.
Find
Yeah.
this now.
A gift.
Literally, a gift.
This will break the sky. Okay.
Yeah.
It sure will.
All right. Last question for you in this lightning round. What is your pre-show routine?
Ooh, I don't consciously have one. Actually, okay, so I'll say the nice one. So usually when doors open, because I'm not that big yet, so I usually just play like first after doors.
Mhm.
When doors open, I like to just chill in the crowd with a few friends in that city, and then I just wait for people to pull up, see who recognizes me, and I guess that's my pre-show routine. But in terms of what I eat or drink or do, I don't know, anything with caffeine.
Mhm.
Don't really have that too much. I bump 17 hits of cocaine and then hit my friend. No.
And do 50 push-ups like
50.
trifecta.
Does
Or like
Trifecta do
Little
50
Texas.
push-ups?
Little
Oh my God.
Texas. Little
Little
Texas
Texas.
does a lot of push-ups.
I swear to God, all the DJs are like so ripped and like, you
Mhm.
know, they're like buff and they're workouty. And I'm like, hi.
You're like, hey, just
I'm like-
kidding.
I'm like last gym pick kid
Yeah.
who would sit in the corner in gym class while people played dodgeball and like watch fucking YouTube tutorials.
Mhm. That's
A lot
okay.
of- A lot of the artists who I see that are like super built usually have like very aggressive music, like Sullivan King, Kaiwachi.
Yeah.
But then like you see Trifecta and I'm like, you're such like a melodic guy. But he's
Yeah.
so like when you meet him in person, he's just so like energetic and so
Mhm.
positive and like it's very contagious, his positive energy.
He's a sweet dude.
Yeah.
He
Dude,
is.
even Dabin's fucking ripped.
Is he?
Really?
Everyone's so
I never
built.
see him.
I've never seen him either. Like I've only seen him from afar on stage, but
Mhm.
never like close up.
Yeah. Nah, dude. I mean, he's not Kaiwachi ripped or Sullivan King ripped, but he's more ripped than the average melodic dude. I was by far the like least healthy person on the tour. Well, not least healthy, but it's like in terms of pure muscle. I mean, like I can barely lift my merch box. But
Like
whatever.
SpongeBob.
Yeah.
He lifts up like the little toys.
give me a ketchup bottle to try and open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's funny.
but
Well, that concludes the lightning round right
Mhm.
there. It wasn't that bad, right?
yeah, not too. I mean, besides that one awkward question, I'm second guessing my answer still.
Ooh. Well, we don't have time to change it, so
Okay,
We're gonna hold you against it, and I'm sure
nice
the victims will as well.
the victims.
Just kidding.
victims. Yeah.
Well, do you have any final words to say to our audiences who are listening?
Final words. I have a lot of new music coming soon. A lot of it is conceptual as well. I've got a concept EP dropping hopefully later this year,
Wow, that's cool.
which is cool. And I'm working on another EP now, actually, because I'm crazy and a workaholic. I've got some cool remixes coming out. Last year I didn't write that whole much music. I released a lot of music I'd written in 2020,
Mhm.
but this year we're back on the grind, and I'm really happy with some of my upcoming work. And yeah, you know, keep posted on socials for upcoming shows, upcoming releases, and
Mhm.
stay
Mhm.
cool. And once again, thank you so much for all the support that has come over the past few years. It's been awesome, and I appreciate meeting you guys in person at shows, and
Mhm.
hopefully I'll get to meet more of you soon. So thanks
Yeah.
for sticking around for the funny Skybreak Deer marathon.
We're here for the Deer Marathon, and it was great having you here in Denver and getting to finally see you play. All of that
Yeah.
was awesome. So
was a lot of
hopefully we'll get to link up with you this summer at some point.
Yeah, hopefully if I get booked for some festivals, that would be cool.
Hell yeah.
Be fun stuff. But yeah, thanks for having me once again. That was sick.
Of course.